Welcome to the today's lecture. We'll start today the sixth unit. Before we start, I do have some instructions for you. I have uploaded the ISCs on Moodle, so I request all of you to just visit to the Moodle and start writing and uploading the ISCs. Also the quizzes. So your examination is scheduled in the December. Very soon you will get information regarding the submission of examination form. And for this subject, the submission is as a ICA. You can say you have to submit all the ISCs and all the quizzes you have to solve. Based on that, you will get the marks. Regarding practical examination also, you have to upload all the experiments. And based on this, you will get marks. And your external examination will be scheduled. So this is what the database engineering related subject submission. So you have to write all the ISCs assignments and upload it on the Moodle links given. You have to solve all the quizzes. Each week we have taken one or two quizzes. If you are not solved, you have to solve it. And you have to upload all the experiments. Those who has not submitted, uploaded or attempted the quizzes, I will make necessary arrangement that all quizzes will be open up to now, whatever quizzes, number of quizzes we have conducted, then all ISCs will be open, and regarding experiments, uploadation will be open, so that those students who has remained, they can upload one more time, or not attempted, they can attempt the quizzes one more time. Today I will make the settings so that all quizzes. Okay, my voice is. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it loud? Am I loud and clearly audible to you? Yes. Okay. So I
Yes, sir.
will. Okay. Thank you. So today I will make the changes such that the all quizzes will be open, all ISCs will be open, and all experiments, if those deadlines are over, those will be. Just check. Am I clearly audible, Sandhya? Voice is very low. Okay, just a minute. Is it loud now? Hello? I think similar settings are there from my side, no changes. Okay, I think it is clear. If somebody is having some problem, just check your network, please. Okay. So I'm giving instructions regarding submission of assignments, attempting the quizzes, and uploading the experiments. Those who has not done yet anything, or they have missed the quizzes to attempt, they will get one more chance. I will make necessary arrangement today or tomorrow morning, up to tomorrow morning. So you have to write all the assignments, you have to attempt all the quizzes, and you have to upload all the experiments. This is the submission for this subject regarding practical also and regarding theory. In December, your examination is scheduled. Very soon, you will get information regarding submission of examination form. Today, I will make changes. So I request, if you are not written, write it. And if you not attempted quizzes, attempt it. Okay. ISCs, I have uploaded. Now we'll start our next unit, sixth unit. The unit name is transactions. Is screen is visible? I'm sharing the screen with you. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So next unit is transaction, and we are going to see transaction concept, transaction states, implementation of ACID properties, serializability, recoverability, implementation of isolation, in SQL the transaction definition, and testing the serializability. So what is transaction? Transaction is a unit of program execution which accesses and possibly updates various data items. So it is a unit of program execution, and due to which if your database is getting updated, getting modified, then such unit of program is called as a transaction. For example, if my account contains 1000 rupees today, and if due to a small program execution, if that figure changes, my amount becomes either 500 or 2000, then due to which it is happened, that is called as a transaction. So it is a unit of program execution, as I said, and due to which there is a possibly update in the data item of database. Now, whenever this kind of transaction happens, the database should be consistent. During transaction, the database may be inconsistent, but when the transaction is complete, the database goes in a consistent state, or it should be consistent. When transaction is committed, the database must be consistent again. Committed means when it is executed completely. Now, this consistency can break by two issues. If there are various kind of failures, maybe system failure, hardware failures, or system crashes, or second is concurrent execution of multiple transactions, then the database goes in inconsistent state. But when transaction we commit, we complete, the database must be in consistent state. How to make it, we'll see. So these are the four properties, ACID properties. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So to preserve integrity of data, the database system must ensure the atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Atomicity indicates all operations of transactions are implemented in the database completely, else not a single one. So if your transaction having suppose 7 operations, so all those 7 operations should be completed. Only 2 are completed, 3 are completed, no, it is not acceptable. So either you complete all 7 operations of a single transaction, else not a single one, you are not allowed. And if you do this, atomicity will be maintained. So all the operations, if single transaction is there and it includes number of operations, all those operations should be completed or should be executed, not 1 or 2 or only 3 or only some. All operations either you implement, else not a single one. So automatic, your atomicity property will be maintained. Consistency. So when you are executing, the consistency of the database should be maintained. Once your transaction is complete, committed, the database should be in consistent state. Isolation. As number of operations, we say multiple operations, multi-transaction, many operations are implemented at a time, concurrency, simultaneously. Then if multiple transactions are executed at the same time concurrently, each transaction must be unaware of other concurrently executing transaction. So it should feel that if I am the single transaction getting executed, I should not get the information of what are the different other transactions are still simultaneously executing. So that is means isolation. So for example, if there are pair of transactions Ti and Tj, so to Ti, it appears that Tj finishes execution after Ti, right? So nobody knows who's executing other. It feel that I will execute first and then others. Durability. After a transaction completes successfully, the changes it has made to the database should be persist, should be final, even if there are system failures. Suppose the one transaction is completed successfully, and after that the system fails. So when system recovers, it should implement all the changes which are made by successful transaction execution as it is. So that is a durability. If my account updated from 1000 to 2000, okay, transaction is complete, and then system fails, when system recovers, it should show 2000, not 1000. So that is the durability. So these are the atomicity, properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. And implementing this automatically, database goes in consistent state. We'll see example of fund transfer. Suppose there is a transaction of transfer of $50 from account A to account B, right? So we'll write down the transaction operations. Hope you're getting. So there is transfer of $50 from account A to account B. It means from account A it is getting deducted, and in account B it is getting added, credited, and debited like this. So account A, so this operation first, read A first, then implement A is equal to A minus 50. It means deduct $50 from account A. Write A, it means update A. Then read B, account B. Then B is equal to B plus 50. Implement the addition operation. And then update B, write B. So these are the 6 operations involved in the transaction. Right? Hope you understand this. These are the instructions which operation is implemented. From A we have to deduct, and in B we have to add. To deduct from A, first we have to call that file, read A. Then deduct it, A is equal to A minus 50. Then update the new value of A. Suppose A contains $300. So A minus 50, it means A should become now 250. So update A from 300 to $250. So that is third operation, write A. Right this. Now what we have to do, we have to add in B. So read B file. It means B account file. Then add B inside B $50. Suppose B is 200. So if addition of 50 will get it 250. So update it, write B. So consistency, how we can say that consistent? Suppose before we do the transaction, the A and B sum is 300 plus 200. We assume na A is 300, B is 200. It is 500. Now we are deducting 50 from A and we are adding in 50 in B. So A will become 250, B will become 250. Addition is again 500. So consistency requirement in this case that if sum of A and B is unchanged, then we can say that execution of transaction is implemented and consistent database is maintained. Right? आपण ए मधून मायनस करतोय आणि बी मध्ये ऍड करतोय. ए ची व्हॅल्यू चेंज होणार आणि बी ची पण व्हॅल्यू चेंज होणार आहे, पण दोघांची सम तीच राहणार आहे. आणि जर सम सेम राहिली that indicates database हा consistent आहे. ए मधून मायनस झाले, बी मध्ये ऍडच झाले नाहीत. ए ची व्हॅल्यू किती होणार 250, बी ची व्हॅल्यू ऍड झाले नाहीत म्हणजे 200. 250 plus 200 450. It means it is not equal. It means database is not consistent, right? So this is what operation we are doing, and if we should suppose that it should be implemented correctly. If it is not happening correctly, automatically database goes inconsistent, and that's it. So we have to keep database in consistent state. So addition should be same. A plus B, sum of A plus B before and after should be same. If it is equal, no problem. Atomicity requirement. If transaction fails after step 3, we assume that transaction fails after step 3 and before step 6. 3 च्या अगोदर किंवा 6 च्या अगोदर फेल झालाय असं assume केला. Then the system should ensure that its updated are not reflected in the database. आता थर्ड ऑपरेशनच्या नंतर आणि सिक्स ऑपरेशनच्या अगोदर ते फेल झालं. ट्रान्झॅक्शन फेल झालं तर काय करायचं, त्यांनी जे काही चेंजेस केले ते नाही करायचे. म्हणजे अगोदर ते इम्प्लिमेंट करायच्या ट्रान्झॅक्शन अगोदर जी काही स्थिती होती तशीच राहायला पाहिजे. दॅट इज ॲटॉमिसिटी. आयदर यू इम्प्लिमेंट ऑल ऑपरेशन्स ऑर नॉट ॲट ऑल. मग तीन नंतर आणि 6च्या अगोदर म्हणजे 4 झाल्यानंतर किंवा 5 झाल्यानंतर ते फेल झालंय तर पूर्ण नाही होत. पूर्ण ऑपरेशन झालं पाहिजे. नाही झालं तर ते आपण करायचं नाही. एंटायर ट्रान्झॅक्शन शुड बी इम्प्लिमेंटेड कम्प्लिटली. मग काय होईल 3 नंतर म्हणजे ए मधून डिडक्ट झाले. ए ची व्हॅल्यू किती झाली, राईट ए करतोय आपण. ए ची we have assumed we have assumed a is 300. 300 minus 50, a becomes 250. We have updated 250. We go to read file B and suddenly there is a system crash. मग a ची व्हॅल्यू काय असायला पाहिजे, a should be 300 before it goes, right? It should not be 250 because we should not implement only 2 or 3 operations. We should implement all operations of that transaction. So that is atomicity. Next, durability requirement. Once the user has been notified that the transaction has completed, it means the transfer of $15 from account A to account B has taken place. Then the updates of the database by the transaction must persist despite failure. म्हणजे तुमचे 1 to 6 ऑपरेशन्स कंप्लीट झाले आणि आता लाईट गेली किंवा सिस्टीम क्रॅश झाली, परत सिस्टीम ज्यावेळेस वेकअप होईल त्यावेळेस काय असणार आहे, ए ची व्हॅल्यू 250, बी ची व्हॅल्यू 250. कारण का हे चेंजेस परमनंट व्हायला पाहिजे. दॅट इज परसिस्टंट. सो दॅट इज ड्युरेबिलिटी. म्हणजे वन्स ट्रान्झॅक्शन इज कम्प्लीट, ट्रान्झॅक्शन इनकम्प्लीट आहे तर त्याचे ट्रान्झॅक्शन सुरू व्हायच्या अगोदर जे काही स्टेटस होतं ए आणि बीचं ते असायला पाहिजे. ट्रान्झॅक्शन कंप्लीट झाल्यानंतर त्यांनी जे काही चेंजेस केले ते फिक्स, फायनल, दोज आर persistent. Isolation requirement now. If between step 3 and 6 another transaction is allowed to access the partially updated database, then it will say inconsistent database. So can be ensured trivially by running transactions serially, that is one after the other. However, executing multiple transactions concurrently has significant benefits. आता आयसोलेशन मध्ये काय, सध्या ट्रान्झॅक्शन T1 एक्झिक्यूट होत आहे, राईट. T1 रीड ए करतोय, ए इक्वल टू ए मायनस 50 करतोय आणि राईट ए करतोय, म्हणजे ए अपडेट करतोय. ए ची व्हॅल्यू आपण अज्युम केलेली 300 आहे ऍट स्टार्ट. ए मायनस 50, 300 मायनस 50, 250, 250 राईट केले. आता पुढचं ट्रान्झॅक्शन चालू आहे, तेवढ्यात ह्या ए ची फाईल दुसऱ्या एका ट्रान्झॅक्शनला रीड करायचे ए व्हॅल्यू. आता ट्रान्झॅक्शन पूर्ण झालं नाही, चेंजेस करतात पण कधी पूर्ण होतात ते कंप्लीट ज्यावेळेस 6th ऑपरेशन पूर्ण होईल. इन बिटवीन दुसऱ्या ट्रान्झॅक्शनने ते मागितले. समजा ए ची व्हॅल्यू त्यांनी रीड केली 250, हे ट्रान्झॅक्शन फेल झालं पहिलं, तर ए ची व्हॅल्यू परत 300 होणार. दुसऱ्या ट्रान्झॅक्शनने ती वाचली 250, देन इट इज प्रॉब्लेमॅटिक. सो आयसोलेशन टेक्स केअर दॅट पहिल्यांदा जरी कन्करंटली म्हणत असो आपण तरी T1 पूर्ण होईल, पूर्ण झाल्यानंतर T2 म्हणजे नेक्स्ट ट्रान्झॅक्शन इम्प्लिमेंट होईल. So then it will receive the consistent database. So that is how isolation requirement. So isolation, what it does, apart from we are saying that all are concurrently executed, there is a sequence so that each transaction is serially executed. So there will be a sequence. किंवा ट्रान्झॅक्शन 1 पहिल्यांदा, ट्रान्झॅक्शन 2 नंतर, त्याच्यानंतर ट्रान्झॅक्शन 3. सो सच अ वे those executed, and that is the job of isolation property. So we have seen ACID properties: durability, consistency, atomicity, and isolation by single example. Any doubt up to this? Okay, we'll go ahead. So transaction states. So there is a state diagram for transaction. There are basically 5 transaction states: active, partially committed, failed, aborted, and committed. Active state indicates it is the initial state, and transaction stays in this state while it is executing. So whenever a transaction is executing, it is in the active state. Partially committed. Partially committed, it indicates when we execute the final statement of that transaction we're executing, then and executed, then it goes in partially committed state. And committed when it successfully completes. So partially committed and committed. म्हणजे इथं एक्झिक्यूट होत आहे वन फर्स्ट ऑपरेशन, सेकंड स्टेप, थर्ड स्टेप, त्यावेळेस द ट्रान्झॅक्शन इज इन ऍक्टिव्ह स्टेट. 6th ऑपरेशन राईट बी एक्झिक्यूट झाल्यानंतर तो पार्शली कमिटेड आणि आता पूर्ण झालंय सगळं, देन इट गोज इन कमिटेड स्टेट. नाउ फेल्ड अँड अबॉर्टेड. फेल्ड after the discovery that normal execution cannot longer proceed, it goes in fail. मला थर्ड स्टेप नंतर कळालं की हे पूर्ण होणार नाही ट्रान्झॅक्शन, म्हणजे फेल झालं. And aborted after the transaction has been rolled back and the database restored to its state prior to the start of the transaction. So 2 options after it has been aborted. Abort म्हणजे काय, आता मला कळाले की फेल होणार आहे, मग मी काय करतो, abort करतो, कॅन्सल. आता when we abort, ए एक्झिक्यूट व्हायच्या अगोदर काय जी व्हॅल्यू होती ती आहे तशी ठेवायला लागेल. बी ची व्हॅल्यू पण एक्झिक्यूट हे ट्रान्झॅक्शन सुरू व्हायच्या अगोदर जी काही स्थिती होती ती. आता आपण ए अज्युम केलं होतं 300 एक्झिक्यूट व्हायच्या अगोदर, 300 शुड बी प्रिझर्व. बी 200 होता, $200 वी शुड प्रिझर्व. मी काय करतोय, हे 5वी स्टेप झाली, मला कळाले की हे पूर्ण होऊ शकत नाही, फेल झालं नाही, ॲबॉर्ट केलं, कॅन्सल केलं, म्हणजे मग मला काय करायला लागेल, बी ची व्हॅल्यू जी मॉडिफाय झाली हे ऑपरेशन केल्यानंतर 200 + 50 250 ते परत रोल बॅक करायला लागेल, कॅन्सल करून बी शुड बी 200. इथे सुद्धा ए वॉज 300 -50 250 मी अपडेट केला होता, सो आय हॅव टू रोल बॅक, म्हणजे त्याला मला परत 250 कॅन्सल करून 300 आहे तसं लिहावं लागेल. So this is what we have to do when we abort the transaction. Yes. So this is the state diagram. When transaction is executing, when transaction is executing, it is in active state. When we execute the last step of that transaction, it goes in partially committed state, and once transaction is fully executed, it goes to committed state. When transaction is going on executing active and we know that we cannot complete it, so it goes in failed state, and when we cancel the transaction, it goes in abort state. When transaction is active and when it goes to partially committed state, आपण लास्ट स्टेप एक्झिक्यूट करतोय, केली आहे, आणि आपल्याला कळाले की नाही ट्रान्झॅक्शन कम्प्लीट होऊ शकत नाही, म्हणजे वी कॅन गो, it can go to partially committed to failed and fail to abort. Are you there? You getting? Any doubt up to this? You can take the snapshot of this diagram, transaction state diagram. Active आहे ज्यावेळेस ते एक्झिक्यूट करत आहे, ज्यावेळेस लास्ट स्टेप एक्झिक्यूट होते त्यावेळेस पार्शली कमिटेड, आणि पूर्ण कम्प्लीट होत आहे कमिटेड स्टेट. पार्शली कमिटेड लास्ट स्टेप एक्झिक्यूट केलंय पण ते पूर्ण करू शकत नाही आपण, इट गोज टू फेल्ड स्टेट, अँड फ्रॉम फेल टू abort. So you can take screenshot or you can draw this diagram, transaction state diagram. Yes, over. We'll go next. Now, when we implement atomicity or durability property, or when we take care that, that if there are going to be failures or consistent state of transaction has to maintain, database has to maintain, then we have to make necessary changes. So recovery management component of database system implement this and supports for atomicity and durability. And how it supports? By implementing the shadow database scheme. Shadow database. Shadow database scheme tells us that it assumes that only one transaction is active at a time. जे एका वेळेस एकच ट्रान्झॅक्शन ऍक्टिव्ह आहे, एक्झिक्यूट होत आहे हे अज्युम करत आहे. There is a pointer called DB pointer, always points to the current consistent copy of the database. So this DB pointer, it points to always current consistent copy of the database. Whenever we update the database, all the updates are made on shadow copy. That is, one more copy of database is created and on that. So like this, before update, after update. DB pointer is always point to the database. आता जे अपडेट व्हायच्या अगोदर म्हणजे आपण एक कॉपी तयार करतो आणि त्याला पॉइंट करतो आणि त्याच्यात अपडेट करतो. So all updates are made to a shadow copy of the database, and DB pointer is made to point to the updated shadow copy only after the transaction reaches partial commit and all update pages have been flushed to the disk. म्हणजे एक कॉपी क्रिएट करणार आपण नवीन एका ऑलरेडी फाईलच्या डेटाबेसची आणि त्या डेटाबेसच्या कॉपीवर आपण सगळे अपडेट्स इम्प्लिमेंट करणार आणि टीबी पॉइंटर त्या अपडेटेड आपण कॉपी केले शॅडो कॉपी त्याला पॉइंट करतोय. ज्यावेळेस पार्शल कमिटेड होईल ट्रान्झॅक्शन त्यावेळेस आपण काय करतो की अगोदरचे सगळे जे काही पेजेस आहेत ते फ्लश करतो, डिस्कला फ्लश करतो, मीन्स रिमूव्ह इट. इफ ट्रान्झॅक्शन इज कमिटेड, आता जी काही डीबी पॉइंटर पॉइंट करतोय दॅट इज द कन्सिस्टंट कॉपी, अगोदरची रिमूव्ह. जर ट्रान्झॅक्शन फेल झालं तर दिस कॉपी जी आता करंटली डीबी पॉइंटरने पॉइंट केली ती फ्लश केली जाते. ओल्ड कॉपी वॉज मेंटेन. This is how the shadow copy is implemented. So here you can see I have created one shadow copy of the database, okay, and currently DB pointer is pointing to that. I am updating all those things here. Updation transaction commit झाला, partially commit झाला की अगोदरची जी काही फाईल होती ती फ्लश केली जाते. कमिट झाला, कमिट झाल्यानंतर जुनी काढून पॉइंटर त्या न्यू कॉपीला जे काही आपण ज्याच्यात चेंजेस केले ती फायनल करतो. जर ट्रान्झॅक्शन फेल झाला तर याच्या अगोदर एक कॉपी होती, डीबी पॉइंटर जे पॉइंट करते त्याच्या अगोदरची कॉपी, पण डीबी पॉइंटर पॉइंट्स टू दॅट आणि ही कॉपी रिमूव्ह केली जाते कारण यात चेंजेस केले आपण. अरे देअर, so assume that there is one and this is a second copy. So second copy, when we are making changes, we are not changing in the original file, that is one, we are making changes in the second copy and that is a shadow copy. When transaction goes in partially committed state, जी नंबर 1 ची कॉपी होती आपण फ्लश करतो, डिस्क मध्ये ठेवतो. and if transaction commits, जी फ्लश मधली कॉपी completely permanently remove आणि ही second copy is becomes the current database now. हे when transaction is committed. Now suppose transaction is not committed, so this is your one number copy and this is second, suppose. इफ ट्रान्झॅक्शन इज कमिटेड, टीबी पॉइंटर जो पॉइंट करत होता तो याला कॉपी करेल. आणि जर ट्रान्झॅक्शन कमिट झालं तर दिस नंबर 1 इज रिमूव्ड, डिलीटेड, and this becomes your original copy. So this is how the shadow database concept implemented. Any doubt in this? This is like replica. You create one more replica of file. Whatever changes you are going to make, you are making in the replica. Once transaction is committed, replica becomes your final copy. Previous copy you delete. If transaction fails, replica is deleted and previous copy is kept. Simple. So when we execute many transactions, any doubt up to this? Hope I am audible. Yes, any doubt up to this? Are you getting? Yes, any doubt? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. इथपर्यंत समजलं का? Okay. So we'll go ahead. कोणाला डाऊट असेल तर पडदेशी विचारा. I hope that you are understanding. Next things are very important now. So concentrate. Shadow copy झाल्यानंतर आता execution. When we say concurrent execution, simultaneously we implement many things, right? That is what concurrent. At the same time, number of things are implemented. So when we implement multiple transactions, many transactions are allowed to run at the same time. Then there are some advantages. Advantages are increased processor and disk utilization. एका वेळी जास्त कामं केल्यामुळे काय होतं, लवकर लवकर कामं संपतात. बरोबर. आणि डिस्क सुद्धा वापरली जाते. And it gives us the better results. No problem. Now, reduced average response time. So when there are multiple transactions are executing, response time थोडा average असतो. Short transactions need not wait behind long ones. आता सायमल्टेनियसली एक्झिक्यूट होतात, काही लवकर संपतील, काही उशिरा संपतील एक्झिक्युशन. मग जे लवकर संपतायत त्यांना लॉंगर जे एक्झिक्यूट होतात त्यांच्यासाठी वाट पाहावी लागते, कारण का त्यांनी फाईल रिसोर्सेस होल्ड केलेले असतात. And there we require the concurrency control scheme. मग अशा वेळी जर एका वेळेस एकापेक्षा जास्त ट्रान्झॅक्शन एक्झिक्यूट होत असतील तर त्यावेळेस आपल्याला कन्करन्सी कंट्रोल स्कीम लागते. व्हॉट इज दिस? Concurrency control scheme achieves isolation. It means it will control the interaction among the concurrent transactions in order to prevent them from destroying the consistency of the database. To understand this, we'll go for this. Schedules. Schedules means, to understand concurrency control, I'm going directly to the example. So you can see here T1. So this is the entire thing is a T1 transaction, and these are the operations of T1 transaction. Other side T2. T2 is this one. These are the operations of the T2. Okay. Now both T1 and T2 are separate transactions, and they T1 there is A B B. It means it requires A file B file. T2 also requires A file B file. Now if T1 is currently holding the A file and also B file, then T2 has to wait and that's why these are the empty spaces. So T2 starts execution after the T1 is complete. Why it is shown like that? Because as we say concurrent transactions, still at a time if both are accessing same file, then there will be problem, right? T1 आणि T2 एकाच वेळेस ए ऍक्सेस करतायत. T1 पण ए अपडेट करतोय आणि T2 पण ए अपडेट करतोय आणि परत एकमेकां वापरले जातात पुढे, तर प्रॉब्लेम होऊ शकतो. म्हणून देर इज अ मग कोणी पहिल्यांदा एक्झिक्यूट करायचं आणि कोणी नंतर हे ठरवलं जातं. जरी आपल्याला ते कनकरंट दिसत असले, स्टील दे आर एक्झिक्युटेड सिरियली आणि त्यांचा आपण ऑर्डर ठरवलाय. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज अ शेड्यूल. So schedule sequence is a sequence which indicates that chronological order in which instructions of concurrent transactions are executed. So schedule shows की पहिल्यांदा कोणतं ट्रान्झॅक्शन एक्झिक्यूट होणार आहे आणि त्याच्या कोणत्या स्टेप्स तो कंप्लीट करणार आहे. सो T1 हियर इट इंडिकेट्स सायमल्टेनियसली जरी पोल रेक्टँगल मध्ये दिसत असले, स्टील इंडिकेट्स T1 अगोदर होणार आहे कारण त्याचे क्रोनॉलॉजिकल ऑर्डर अगोदर आहेत ऑपरेशनचे. आणि T2च्या नंतर म्हणजे T2 इथपर्यंत T1 जोपर्यंत पूर्ण होत नाही तोपर्यंत T2 वेट करतोय. So that these resources which are held by T1 will be available. Okay, so this deciding of which transaction and which operations are going to execute first and which are later on, that is called as a schedule. Okay, so that is sequence. Schedule for set of transaction must consist of all instructions of those transactions and must preserve the order in which the instructions appear in each individual transaction. So we'll see one example. Let T1 is a transaction name. T1 transfers $50 from A to B. आता transaction T1 काय आहे की transfer $50 from A to B. It means from A it will get deducted and to B it will get added. So T1 transaction operations, read A. So it requires A file, it requires B file. So first read A, deduct 50 from A, then update the A file, right? Then read B, add in B and update the fee. So read, write, read, write. Read A, do the operation, write A. It means read B, update, write B. Meanwhile, T2 also requires A and B. So T2 waits unless T1 finishes and release the resource A and B. Suppose A is 300. A is equal to A minus 50. A becomes 250, which is written. It means updated. B is 200. D becomes 250. Now when T2 read A, what will be the value of A? Who will answer? When T2 is going to read A, what will be the value of A? Answer me. Those who are listening, answer me. Yes. What will be the value of A? Are you there? Are you listening? आवाज येतोय का? Yes. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
What will be value of A?
0.
0. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Vishal? Vishal Fule. Randomly आपण नावं घेऊ आता. विचारूयात. गौतमी कांबळे. Are you there? Answer me. What will be value of A? Screen is visible. Yes, Gautami, are you there? You can reply me in chat also, no problem. येस. व्हॉट इज व्हॅल्यू ऑफ ए? T2 ज्यावेळेस रीड करतोय ट्रान्झॅक्शन T2, ए ची व्हॅल्यू काय असणार आहे? कृष्णा चव्हाण, आर यू देअर? टेल मी द आन्सर. वॉट एव्हर यू फील, इफ यू आर लिसनिंग. इफ यू आर नॉट लिसनिंग, आय विल रिवाइज. समजून घ्या, हे महत्वाचं आहे. हे इथं कळालं तर पुढचे पॉईंट समजणार आहेत. दिस इज अ ऑल डिपेंडन्सी. पहिलं कळालं तर पुढचं कळणार, नाहीतर काहीच नाही कळणार. ओके, आय विल रिवाइज. परत एकदा. स्क्रीन विजिबल आहे? सगळ्यांना स्क्रीन विजिबल आहे? परत एकदा बघा याचा अर्थ काय. ओके. T1 ट्रान्झॅक्शन काय म्हणताय? इट ट्रान्सफर $50 फ्रॉम ए टू बी. मग त्याच्या ऑपरेशनचे आपण हे इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स लिहिले. पहिल्यांदा रीड ए फाईल वाचावी लागणार, कॉल करावी लागणार. ए मधून 50 मायनस केले. 50 मायनस केल्यानंतर एची व्हॅल्यू जी काही नवीन आली आहे ती अपडेट करा. दॅट इज राईट ए. बी रीड करा, बी फाईल कॉल करा, ॲक्सेस करा. बी इज इक्वल टू बी प्लस 50. बी मध्ये 50 ॲड करा आणि अपडेट द बी व्हॅल्यू. सो दिस इज T1 ट्रान्झॅक्शन. T2 जरी आपण म्हणतो ॲट अ टाइम सुरू झाले तरी इट इज गोइंग टू वेट. इट इज गोइंग टू वेट अनलेस T1 फिनिशेस. आता इथं आपण ॲझ्युम केलं ए ची व्हॅल्यू 300 आहे सुरुवातीला, हे एक्झिक्यूट व्हायच्या अगोदर, आणि बी ची व्हॅल्यू 200 आहे. ए इज इक्वल टू ए मायनस 50. ए ची व्हॅल्यू झाली 250, अपडेट केली. नाव ए इज 250. बी 200 होता, बी मध्ये 50 ॲड झाले, बी बिकम्स 250. ओके. इथं T1 ट्रान्झॅक्शन संपलं. त्याच्यानंतर T2 सुरू झालं. ओके. आता आपण ते कन्करंट एक्झिक्युशन म्हणून दोन्ही एका वेळेस सुरू झाले, पण T2 थोडं वेट करतो आणि T1 संपल्यानंतर सुरू होतं. आता ज्यावेळेस T2 रीड ए करेल, ए ची व्हॅल्यू काय असेल हा प्रश्न होता. व्हॉट इज व्हॅल्यू ऑफ ए नाव? नाव आन्सर मी.
250. 250.
That was a very nice presentation. Now, participants, if you have any questions, please you can ask.
Just a minute.
Ma'am, there is one. Between fuzzy sets and crispy sets.
Okay. So answer is correct. Answer is correct. A is 250 because T1 has accessed and it is updated. And when T2 reads it, it will be 250. B also 250. So when T2 reads it, it also will have. Here we are, no? Right? 250. Now T2 transaction, it indicates it is transferring 10% of the balance of A and B. Okay. So T2 is reading A will be 250. 10% of A will be calculated and it is stored in the temporary variable. From A, temp is deducted and A is written, updated. So 10% of 250, 25. So 250 minus 25, A becomes 225. B is written. Okay. B is now.
Question. Any participant, please?
B is now 250. So inside B, the 10% that is a temp is added. So B becomes 275. Are you there? Right. B. So this is how the concurrent transactions are executed. So there is a sequence. There is a schedule. So T1 execute first, then T2. Okay. Up to this, any doubt? Up to this, any doubt?
Okay, so with this, I'm concluding today's first
So no doubts. Are you clear? Transaction T1 is separate, transaction T2 is separate. T1 transfers $50 from A to B. When T1 completes, then T2 starts. So meanwhile T2, which we say that T1 and T2 are concurrently एकाच वेळेस एक्झिक्यूट होत आहेत असं आपण सांगतोय, पण ते होत नाहीत. अशा पद्धतीने होतात की T1 पूर्ण झाल्यानंतर T2 एक्झिक्यूट होतो. मग T1 कडे A आणि B रिसोर्सेस आहेत. ज्यावेळेस T1 ते अपडेट होईल आणि संपेल त्याचं एक्झिक्युशन, त्यावेळेस T2 कडे दिले जातात. देन T2 विल रीड. So whenever T2 is reading, T2 is supposed to read the value of A after the write of A. म्हणजे A T1 ने अपडेट केल्यानंतरच T2 ने रीड करायला पाहिजे. So that is the sequence. This is the order. Right? When T1 updates B, then T2 is supposed to read. So we can make this like. So we'll see what is a equivalent schedule and conflict equivalent schedule in next lecture. We'll stop here. If any doubts are there, you can ask. And remember, concentrate and understand each and every concept because everything is dependent. जर पुढचं कळलं तर त्याच्या नेक्स्ट जे मागचं कळलं तर त्याच्या पुढचं कळणार आहे. म्हणजे आता जे आपण करणार आहे ते कळलं तर त्याच्या पुढचे कन्सेप्ट्स कळणार आहेत. So remember. So with this, we'll stop here. We can go to last part. If you have any doubts, you can ask or you can type in chats. So we'll go to last part. First 10 roll numbers 1 to 10. Type your roll numbers in chat. 1 to 10. Roll number 1 to 10. Type your roll numbers. Now roll number 11 to 20. Type your roll numbers. 11 to 20. 11 to 20. Okay. Roll number 21 to 30. Type your roll numbers. 21 to 30. Roll number 31 to 40. Type your roll numbers. Roll number 31 to 40.
सर रेंज प्रॉब्लेम आहे त्यामुळे माझा रोल नंबर मी टाकलेला अजून आले नाही बहुतेक तुम्हाला.
ठीक आहे. रोल नंबर किती आहे तुमचा? ओके ठीक आहे संध्याकाळी मी नोट डाऊन केला. ओके ओके. नेक्स्ट 41 to 50. ओके 41 to 50. Roll number 41 to 50. 51 to 60. Roll number 51 to 60. 61 to 70. 61 to 70. 72, 72. 70, 71, 72. Yes, Reshma, you are saying something. रेश्मा कपाले बोला, काय अडचण आहे? रेश्मा कपाले.
नो सर, मिस्टेक झाली.
युअर रेज हँड. ओके ठीक आहे ठीक आहे. तुमचा रोल नंबर टाईप केलाय ना? ओके. एनीबडी रिमेन रोल नंबर लिहायचा राहिला सर तर टाईप करा इन चॅट. थँक यू व्हेरी मच. विल कंटिन्यू रिमेनिंग थिंग्स इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. थँक यू. You can leave the meeting, no problem.